Hey, what's up, you guys? This is Giorgio, your friendly neighborhood YouTuber, and I'm back with another episode of Beyond Wrestling. And it's going to be a very special episode because this episode is dedicated to one of my most loyal, cool YouTube friends. Her name is Carlie Jane Tabone, and I hope that I have said her name right. And her favorite wrestler is Alexa Bliss, as you can see on the comment right there. And I'm very grateful that she likes the podcast episodes that I've been doing on this Beyond Wrestling episode, just Beyond Wrestling show. And this episode is going to be really cool because I'm going to be talking about Alexa Bliss and how I will book the future of her character. And I promise you guys, this will be a very positive type of video, and I'm just going to be going over, what Alexa Bliss character is all about, and most importantly, what makes her character so unique from all the other female wrestlers out there. And again, shout out to Carlie Jane Tabone. I really appreciate you, Carlie, for just hanging in there with me, being very supportive, and always leaving me the most loving comments, as you can see right there on that screenshot right there. And shout out to, just her for being, really, really cool. And I hope that this video will make you feel great. And yeah, you have so many kind words right there. I don't want to read all of it out right now because I want to keep that kind of personal. But thank you so much for writing me that beautiful comment. And let's get into the episode, shall we? And then, so now to the topic at hand, Alexa Bliss. Now, currently on Alexa Bliss, she's on the SmackDown brand. I know she's been doing the Moment of Bliss talk show segments, with Nikki Cross, where she'll be interviewing, different WWE superstars. And I love what she's been doing with the WWE legends and the soon-to-be WWE Hall of Famers, and just showing them some love. And she's such a really good talker when she's doing that segment. And I really do feel she's in her element when she's doing those Moment of Bliss segments. And she's also been a World Tag Team Champion, the Women's Tag Team Champion, with Nikki Cross. So she's always very special there. And I tell you all, Alexa Bliss has had quite the career in WWE up to this point. She's held both the Raw and SmackDown Women's Championships, and she's held the Raw Women's Championship 3 times and the SmackDown Women's Championship twice. Alexa Bliss has been on a roll in the time that she's been in the WWE, and I know right now Bayley has to defend her title in the 6-pack challenge. It would have been nice to see Alexa Bliss thrown in that situation, but hopefully, WWE will have some really big plans for her in the next few months. Hopefully, once all this virus stuff, clears up, because yeah. And here's my thing, my personal opinion of Alexa Bliss, the character, not the person. The person, I'm gonna get to that in a little bit, but the character, I really think, is a very unique character. The Alexa Bliss character is totally different from all the other characters that are on the show. She's definitely got this Harley Quinn kind of vibe to her, this Harley Quinn punk rock vibe, and I really like that. And if you all have seen her dress up as Harley Quinn and stuff, she mainly, I think, does it on pay-per-views and stuff, especially when she was a heel. And that was really cool to see how creative she got with those different costumes and stuff. And and I like the attires that she has too. Her jackets are always cool. The gloves that she have is always cool. The whole pink and black. And she's used blue. She's used green before. And it's really cool how she has her hairstyle. That's really unique too, because there's not many people that has that style that she uses. And she may not be the most, flashiest type of wrestler, but she's very unique in how she how she does certain moves in the ring, and what she has over a lot of other, female wrestlers is, at least on the SmackDown women's roster, is she knows how to talk. She knows how to get a good fan reaction. At least, when she's in the right program with the right person, because, the saying in wrestling is you're only as good as the person that you're in the ring with. And I think if you put Alexa Bliss with the right people, you will truly see, how much she can shine as a wrestler. And and also, you guys, I just want to say that I'm very grateful for any of you who decide to listen to my podcast, because there's like a million podcasts out here, and the fact that you all chose to pick out mine to listen for a little while, that means a lot to me, because I do value you all's feedback. And if you want to send in any questions or feedback, you can do so. I have the email in the description of this podcast episode on whichever platform you're listening to it on. But nonetheless, I think, Alexa Bliss, she would do really cool with her own podcast. She has a very unique perspective, and she really does know how to interview the guests, that we've been seeing on the Moment of Bliss. Now, I feel like, personally, at least for me, I think Alexa Bliss is better off as a heel. Now, she can be a good babyface, but I feel like the SmackDown women's roster right now, it needs a heel, a really good heel. Bayley, she's been okay as a heel, but I feel like Bayley's still missing something, in order to get that real, like, heel heat. You know what I'm saying? Like, we need her getting that Randy Orton type of heel heat, where the fans just can't stand her. And I feel like Alexa Bliss knows how to do that. She knows how to really get under the fans' skin, and she also knows how to get them to like her too. But I feel like Alexa Bliss is the heel SmackDown needs right now. Obviously, she's in this whole group thing with Nikki Cross, and the thing is, having Nikki Cross with Alexa Bliss, that's probably the best position for Nikki Cross right now. However, I do feel like Alexa Bliss has so much more potential to show everybody. And I feel like she hasn't scratched the surface of how great she can truly be. And she has been the women's champion too, as well, on the main roster. And we already know about the work that she did in NXT, which was really good too. And a lot of the stuff she did in NXT is what kind of catapulted her, to the main roster and stuff like that. But this is, and the thing is, like, Alexa Bliss, the person, like, in, the actual human being, she's a really good person, and you could just go on social media and you'll see that, I know, you can only go by so much with social media, but I've seen people's, real life reactions and stuff from meeting her, and I haven't heard anyone say anything bad about her as a person, and that's always a really good thing. I really do believe that. But the purpose of this episode is I want to talk about the future of what Alexa Bliss can go from next, and as much as it's cool to see her with Nikki Cross, I feel like she could be doing so much more. And this is nothing against Nikki Cross, but with the character that Alexa Bliss has, she could be in a big high profile storyline right now. And this is the thing, like, I would turn Bayley back into a babyface. I mean, that's what I would do. I would turn Bayley back into a babyface. I would turn Alexa Bliss heel, have her have this really crazy personal feud with Nikki Cross. And you can make some money with this if it's written right, because they can literally do the same thing that they've done with Edge and Randy Orton. You know, because Edge and Randy Orton is super personal, and now everyone wants to pay money to see them wrestle. In a lot of fans' eyes, Edge and Randy Orton is probably one of the main events of WrestleMania. And I feel like you put Alexa Bliss in a really good heel role against Nikki Cross, who many of the fans adore, and you can have Nikki Cross be the sympathetic, babyface, where Alexa Bliss just dogs her out. And then you can go, and then a lot of fans are gonna be jumping at the bit to pay their money to see Nikki Cross get her revenge on Alexa Bliss. And the thing is, you don't even have to have this feud finished quickly. Like, I would at least play this off until I would say maybe the summer or something, and they can have a big blow off in the summer where they have the matchup. It's because this is what I think. Like, you turn her heel, you have her go against Nikki Cross. That'll establish Alexa Bliss as a heel again. Then from there you can start putting her into the women's title picture. Maybe have her feud against somebody else. I'm trying to see who they could go with, because that roster is kind of the women's division on SmackDown. It just needs some life to it, and that's where I would put Alexa Bliss in. Now you could have her stay as a babyface, and possibly you turn Sasha Banks heel, and you have Sasha Banks beat up Bayley and take the title from Bayley, and then from there you can have Sasha Banks beat the hell out of Nikki Cross in just such a vicious way, to where now you want to see Alexa Bliss defend her friend. So Alexa Bliss could still be a babyface in that role. So WWE could do that storyline. That's another option. It's just an idea, And I'm just trying to think of ways that, we could get Alexa Bliss' name to be super big in terms of people wanting to pay tons of money to see her in the main event, or at least the co-main event. So that's what I would do. You either turn her heel, have her go up against Nikki Cross, and then eventually you put Alexa Bliss in the title picture that way, or you go the other route, which is you have Bayley turn babyface, then you can have Sasha Banks beat Bayley or whatever, and then you can have Alexa Bliss win some kind of #1 contenders thing or whatever it is, and then you have Sasha Banks somehow attack Nikki Cross, and just to kind of establish herself as the dominant woman on the roster, that she can just bully anybody. And then you have Alexa Bliss come out there and say, try picking on me. Then you have a matchup where Alexa Bliss gets the win, and then it could lead to a matchup for the title. It's just an idea, and because that's just where my head is at right now. But other than that, considering everything that's going on right now, I think where Alexa Bliss is doing the whole hosting Moment of the Bliss thing, it's still a really good spot for her. It still is, until you can find room to put her in the women's title picture, and and so that's where I can see her going forward. And also Alexa Bliss, she's been featured in this song by this rock band, and the band is called Bowling for Soup. and you know, they made a song about Alexa Bliss or whatever, and it's really dope because it's got this late 90s kind of sound or vibe to it. And you know how rock music used to sound in the late 90s, you know, that whole Fall Out Boy type sound, you know, Linkin Park type of sound, you know. That's pretty much the vibe that I get from hearing this song. So let me play you all a snippet of this. And of course, this is just promotional use only. If this helps the band get some play or get some sales on their music or whatever, that's cool. But let me know what you all think of this song. I think it's pretty cool.
She saw me for the first time in Columbus. She was with her friends and I was in a tour bus. A few months later she was wearing my shirt in a photo shoot. I didn't even know that she was famous. How could someone so pretty be so dangerous? She's only 5 foot tall, but maybe 5'2" in her wrestling boots. And I hear she can even sing. She's the champ of everything. Why can't every girl be more like Alexa Bliss? How can a chick on TV make me feel like this? She's got a finishing move called Twisted Bliss, and it's like my heart is caught in a sleeper hold.
So yeah, you guys, yeah, that was it was pretty neat, you know, like, you know, because you don't always see that too much these days. It's nice seeing wrestlers featured in music videos and stuff like that, and it really shows you the kind of star power that Alexa Bliss has. And I don't know if a lot of people know that, you know, that what I just showed or what you just heard, that she was featured in this rock song. So yeah, so that's kind of what this video was about, was just you know, sharing how I will book Alexa Bliss going forward. And you know, because there's still a lot of potential with this character, with her, and she can talk, she has the look, she has the vibe, and I think booked in the right situations, you can really see Alexa Bliss thrive in the most big way. And of course, you know, Alexa Bliss also has some other really cool things that have happened in her career in terms of, you know, accomplishments. And I'm gonna read some of those for you guys. And here's the first one. Alexa Bliss was featured in the Pro Wrestling Illustrated. She was ranked number 2 of the top 50 female wrestlers in the PWI Female 50 in 2018. And then, of course, and she was also featured in the Sports Illustrated magazine. She was ranked number 6 in the top 10 female singles wrestlers in 2018. So yeah, 2018 was such a huge year, and it really defined Alexa Bliss, you know, as a character and as a woman in the wrestling world. And then, of course, like I mentioned early on, she did win the women's tag team championships with Nikki Cross. At least I think I mentioned that in the beginning of this podcast. But nonetheless, still really awesome. And then, of course, in 2018, she won the Women's Money in the Bank, which I think skyrocketed her wrestling career in the WWE, and which, you know, allowed her to go on to win on all those big world titles. And of course, the biggest, in my opinion, the biggest accomplishment of her wrestling career is she's the second women's Triple Crown champion. And that's something that not everyone can achieve. And that alone is almost like a Hall of Fame worthy career, you know, because there's so many great people who never got those opportunities. And so the fact that Alexa Bliss was able to get that kind of success in her wrestling career, that, you know, really does cement her legacy in wrestling history. And, you know, that's right there. That's why, you know, Alexa Bliss is pretty cool, in my honest opinion. And obviously you can't cover every single moment of her career in one particular episode like this because there's so many layers to her character. And this was just like a brief background into what makes Alexa Bliss, the character, really, really cool. And, it'd be cool one day, if we could have her on the show and we can have her talk about some of her favorite moments of her career. What gave her the idea for some of her in-ring attire and the different hairstyles that she's had. And also, what are her favorite hobbies outside of wrestling? What are her goals when wrestling is done for her, and I think that would be really cool. Anything is possible. That's my motto. And Carlie, I hope that you really, really enjoyed this particular episode of Beyond Wrestling, and I hope that it helped you stay relaxed and happy, especially during these trying times in life. And everything's gonna get better, and that's what I try to aim for on this on this show, is to try to help people feel relaxed. I want this podcast to feel like a hangout instead of me just yip yapping on a microphone. You know what I'm saying? And the email for this podcast is in the description box or area of whatever platform you're listening to this on. And so if you got any episode ideas or suggestions or feedback, you can email me there, and I will definitely include those ideas in future episodes, so that this can get even better, because this is really like my first year like really doing this on a big level, so I'm learning as I go. But nonetheless, I hope that you all, just stay safe out there. Look out for each other. If you got resources, try to help somebody else out in need right now, because that's how you get your blessing, and that's the only way things are gonna get better, And definitely stay your ass in the house, because we don't need nobody else getting sick for sure, And definitely share this podcast on your social media networks. Share the YouTube channel, which is GEORGIO ASMR. Is space in between, is all caps on the letters, and like I said, I'm grateful that you all chose to listen to my podcast. Anyways, this is GEORGIO, your friendly neighborhood YouTuber, and I will catch you all on the next episode of Beyond Wrestling. Peace out.